Hello. Um, I don't really know how to. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. This isn't my camera. I don't do things like this, but I figured I just thought someone should. Anyway, my name is Cody, and well, I guess if anyone's watching this, which I hope, someone could be, then I guess I'm gonna talk about what happened. Well, I think it started with my wife. Miller, Cody Miller, and my wife is Sadie Miller, and Sadie died, going on about, I don't know, 5 years now. 5 years, 2 months, and 3 days. I say I don't know sometimes, but I remember. You can't not remember it. She was murdered, which I know a lot of people, that bothered people a lot, so I wouldn't really tell them that, like, if I didn't know them and I was meeting them, and it just comes up in conversation. It came up in conversation a lot. It came up in conversation all the time. Hey, are you married? And I wasn't, but in my I still loved her. I kept the ring for a while. I'm not wearing it now. And that's kind of part of this. It started, I think, when Sadie was killed, and I couldn't let go of that. I couldn't really get past it. They say time, is all it takes, but I don't know. It didn't get better. She was killed by they're thinking that maybe gang affiliated. It was a carjacking. They were pulling her out of the car, and she fought. One of them hit her over the head twice with a blunt metal object. They assume it was the butt of a gun. And it was enough to kill her. You see in movies, that doesn't kill people, but it can, and it did. And she died, and never found out who it was. They found her car in like a ditch on the side of the road, a little bit outside the city, so they think that maybe they got in a different car. They never were caught, but I dreamt that they would be for the longest time, and I hoped that they would be caught, but not by the police. I hoped that they would be caught by whatever other gang or however it works. I don't know. I wanted them dead. I wanted them to die, and I hoped that they died. And that idea that that dream, that feeling. I think everyone told me it was pretty normal. I went to, some group therapy sessions, and they said it was normal, that they'd all felt that way, similar circumstances. So I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think I was different or wrong or anything special, really. Something terrible happened to me. It happens to lots of people, and I dealt with it the way that I dealt with it. But things began to change. I started to have more vivid dreams. And I know if anyone's watching this, you're thinking, okay, this man is insane. But I'm not. I think this is very connected. So I started to have these strange dreams. And in my dreams, there were storms, in a way. These massive, great storms. And in every one of my dreams, it didn't matter where I was, in a city, in my home, with Sadie at the park, or anything like that. But the storms were always there, constant, continuous. My therapist said that it is me dealing with, the loss, and that is the, brooding emotions. I don't know, but I don't think it was, because 2 years after Sadie died, the storms had voices within them. And that's when I started to, get a little worried. But again, told that it's normal. I was given some sleep medication. I was given antidepressants. I'm not depressed. I'm angry. My dreams continued like that for years. Until exactly 1 year ago from today. In that dream, a storm was over top of me, and it came down from the sky, a storm coming down from the sky, which was frightening. It was a dream, and it spoke to me, but this time clearly I could understand it, and it asked me, Cody, do you miss your wife? And I said, yes, of course I do. And the storm said, Cody, do you hate those that took her from you? Yes, I screamed at it. I screamed at it. And it said, Cody, do you want us? Do you want us to give back your wife? Or do you want us to make them suffer? All of them. And I as anyone would, I began to say, I want my wife back. I want Sadie back. I want her back. I want her back, please. But it interrupted me. Stopped me. And it said, of course. but you get her back, they're still out there, and they'll just take her away again. And it was a dream. And you know how in a dream you can't, you're not very rational, nothing is irrational, everything doesn't make sense. But that made so much sense. So it asked me again, do you want us? So I told it. I stood up and looked at the storm and I said, I'll meet my wife. I'll meet my wife when it's all over. Her pain is done. But I want theirs to begin. And I want theirs to never end. I want them to know fear and horror and pain. And I want them to know sorrow. I want them to know loss. I want them to hurt. And before I know it, I was screaming it at the storm, and then I woke up. About, I'm gonna say, a month after that dream, 1 year ago to today, I saw the first news story of, it was somewhere, I don't know, like in, like Colombia or, you know, Iran or something, like a third world country no one cares about, where it was some great and terrible storm that tore its way through a town. And, you know, a lot of people were killed. Like, what happens every time large storms go through third world countries? It wasn't for another couple of months, about half a year ago, that I really started to pay attention. Because you couldn't not pay attention. These storms were everywhere. They were everywhere. And that's when I started to see, you know, pictures and videos that people were taking of them. And they looked familiar. You couldn't, no one could, people made shelters. People, there were preppers, like built bomb shelters, and it didn't stop, the storms. Everyone, death tolls got bigger and bigger and the storms became more frequent, and, there was nothing anybody could do. How do you fight a storm? How do you fight nature? You can't. And eventually it started to happen here, in the United States. New York flooded. No. It came to me. New Jersey. Had passed over the storm. Now I was waiting for it. I was waiting outside, staring at it. killed everybody. It killed everybody. But it didn't kill me. And it passed over, and it passed over, and it kept going. And now there are no news stories. Now there is no news. Now there are no people building shelters. There are no shelters. I don't know if maybe somewhere across the world somebody is alive somewhere. There are people. My power's on a generator. Everything is out. Everything is gone. But I know it's gonna come back. Because it said that it said that it was gonna get all of them. All of them. And I agreed. And so it is. It's getting everyone. I don't know why it picked me. There are people with sadder stories. There are people who hurt more, who wept more than I did for my loss. There are people who... I don't know why it chose me. But then I thought, maybe I was just the only one to say yes. Well, that's it, I think. That's all that I know. And if anyone finds this, I hope it helps. And if I'm still alive when you find this, if I'm still alive when you find this, then I understand. You can do it. I understand. I'd kill me too.